Hello guys, Jerry speaking. Welcome to Bedtime Stories, episode number 167. And today we read you a little biography book about Queen Elizabeth II. Now before I read this book for you guys, I want to give you a fun fact about my book to read on this, okay? My grandmother Craig is one of the best, one of her favorite queens is Queen Elizabeth in Australia. Back in her day, in the 1950s, is Queen Elizabeth II. She was born in the 1920s, and she was originally from England. You know, my grandmother Craig came from Australia in the mid-1920s, and to be fair, I was from the American background, and that's why I'm here for it. But anyway, enough talk. Let's read about golden book biography about Queen Elizabeth II. Let's do it now. So shall we? So we got an honor of the Queen Elizabeth Queen Jamboree right now. This is by Jen Area, illustrated by Monique Dong. Anyway. And yeah, this is a 2022 book. Okay. But anyway. Alright, observe. But anyway. And it's torn almost there to pieces. But anyway. But not quite there. But anyway. I don't know what just happened to my book. But, you know. That's a bit, of course. Anyway. Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor was born in London, England on April 21st, 1926. Okay? She was like an A kid, okay? Except one thing, Elizabeth was a princess, okay? Her little sister Margaret was a princess as well, okay? Because their grandfather was a king of the United Kingdom, okay? Makes sense in any way. Though furthermore, it makes sense to everybody to make sense, even though it's a great thing, okay? Next page. Anyway, sorry to be loud there, everybody. Anyway, Elizabeth and Margaret first lived in a townhouse in London, okay? In the 25 bedrooms in the ballroom, okay? But it wasn't a palace, okay? Lippert was Elizabeth's nickname, okay? Was smart and a little shy, okay? And very organized. Before bedtime, she lined up her toy horses, okay? And pretended to feed them, okay? The girls didn't go to school. They had lessons at home, okay? Their family was close and happy. Not one thought Elizabeth and Margaret's father would ever be king, okay? The uncle and his brother was next in line to the throne, okay? Makes sense in any way, so there you go on that. Next page. Anyway. Okay, where is we? Oh, yes. When Elizabeth was 10 years old, everything changed, okay? Her grandfather passed away, and her uncle, being king, became king, okay? But only for a short time. Now, suddenly Elizabeth's father had to be king. Since he didn't have a son, his oldest child, Elizabeth, was her to be thrown. One day she would be the queen, okay? The family moved to the Buckingham Palace, okay? The king didn't make the laws in the land. That power belonged to the parliament, okay? Still Britain's war had an important role. Elizabeth's father wanted her to be prepared, okay? He thought her to feel like a sense of duty, okay? Elizabeth grew up believing that she would serve the people, not that the people should serve her, okay? Makes sense in any way. And, yeah, even though it's a great idea, but it celebrates 7 years of the, as of nowadays, being being crowned, her, by the way, of course, in 1952. You know, that should be, of course. Next page. Anyway. In 1939, the same year Wizard of Oz came out, Hitler's army invaded Poland, okay? Which started World War II. The King and Queen stayed at Buckingham Palace, even though it was bombed, okay? For safety, the two princes lived in Windsor Castle in their countryside, okay? The crown's jewels were hidden 60 feet under the castle in the Biscuit Tin. When peace comes, remember this. It will be us, the children of today, to make the world of tomorrow the better and happier place. Exactly. During the war, Princess Elizabeth wanted to help. She raised money for the troops. She gave a radio speech to cheer up children like her, who were away from home, because of the war. Exactly, UK people. You gotta do something. Next page. Anyway. And sorry, it's a short amount of time to do this. Anyway. In 1945, when she was 18, Elizabeth signed up with the women's branch of the British Army. She learned to change tires, strap an engine, and drive trucks. On the day when the war was ended, a crowd of people cheered and danced in the streets outside Buckingham Palace. Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret happily joined them. Exactly. You gotta do something about these two things, you know. It makes sense to anybody, even though it's a great idea to make more sense of the whole World War II thing. Next page. Anyway. After the war, they did get better, but right away. London has been bombed and would need to be rebuilt. Oh, man. But soon came some happy news, a world wedding. Wow. Elizabeth was in love, okay? She had met charming, handsome Philip when she was just 8 years old. They were met again when she was 13, which I talk about in the FWL series. Anyway. And for years, they have written letters back and forth. On November 20th, 1947, they got married. And I talk about this, his death thing in the FWL episode was a death topic for him. And I will talk about more about this on the Crazy Bunches web show about the Queen and Prince. You know, that's me, of course. Next page. Anyway. Sadly, Elizabeth's father passed away a few years later. Elizabeth and her family and her country moved to mourn the king. Wow. When she was just 25 years old, wow. Elizabeth robbed the Westminster Abbey in a fancy gold coach pulled by 8 horses, wearing a white satin dress and polished purple robe. She swore to govern with justice and mercy. A heaven crown was placed in her head. England had a new queen, Elizabeth II. Now, it was 70 years ago this year that happened to be Queen Elizabeth II. You know, it makes sense to anybody. Next page. Anyway. Okay. Queen Elizabeth did wear a robe and a crown every day. She mostly wore colorful suits and hats, okay? But every day she serves the people in her country, okay? She raised a family too, as well. Excuse me, okay, anyway. Elizabeth and Philip had 4 children, 3 boys and 1 girl. Exactly. Even though it was a great idea to make sense in any way with a dog and things like the royal palace. Anyways, next page. Anyway. Years pass, and then 3 decades on, calm, steady, Queen Elizabeth kept watch over the country. By tradition, the Queen stayed out of politics. I have to agree, because I had talked about politics on PBS, on some PBS NewsHour and FWL thing, but that's me, of course. She didn't even vote. I have to agree with that. PBS NewsHour at the time, yes. Yeah, I agree with Jim, 100%. Anyway, but that didn't mean she didn't make changes. Yeah, bits and pieces on that. But anyway, she became friends with Nelson Mandela and support his work against racism in South Africa. Exactly. She visited Ireland despite its troubled history with Britain. She was the first British ruler to go there in 100 years. Exactly. She's back in new British law again, allow the ruler's oldest child, a son or a daughter, to be here to the throne. Wow, makes sense in any way. The late Nelson Mandela and some Irish people. You gotta do something about that. Next page. Anyway. Being queen wasn't always easy. Queen Elizabeth once famously said that 1992 was a horrible year. Yeah. The following year was the worst year for my grandmother Craig. Not my grandmother Craig, but now she passed 1990. What was it? The Jabbers family. Yeah. 1993. Yeah. Was the worst year for my family, you know. My grandmother Jeffers died, and then my great-grandmother Jeffers died months afterwards, you know. It was Ruth Jeffers who died. I felt like my condolences with my family, you know. Anyway, yeah, it was sad to me, I know. Her children now grown were unhappy. I felt worried, yeah. Her heir, Prince Charles, separated from his wife, Princess Diana. Yeah, now at the time, yes, Princess Diana was murdered and then had a car crash and just had a funeral. I don't know what to do next, you know. I did not know what to do. Oh man, you know, it was... Man, 97, I was only two when she died, and you know what, it was all a big meltdown for being like getting close to be 2 years old when this happened. Anyway, then Windsor Castle caught on fire. Wow, it was sad to me, I know. Slowly things settled down, her grandchildren got married and had children of their own. I felt worried for Queen Elizabeth II, you know. It just didn't know what to do next, you know. That's me, of course, you know. Next page. Anyway. In 2012, one of my worst years, Brave My Fortune years ever, Britain celebrated something very special, a Diamond Jubilee. Now, she did something for 2022 this year, which is a 70 years. Anyway, Elizabeth had been queen for 60 years. Now, she's been on for 70 years now, but that's me, of course. There was concerts, fireworks, and picnics. People on the streets to cheer. With her family around her, Queen Elizabeth watched and waved and smiled. A few years later, on September 9th, 2015, Queen Elizabeth II became the British longest ruling monarch. I have to thank God this is going to be it. Overtaking his great-great-grandmother Queen Victoria's record. Yeah. It was very happiness right there. And 2022, which is this year, by the way, Elizabeth marked 70 years on the throne. To honor her, Britain threw its first Platinum Jubilee, which came this week, by the way. You know, it was a great honor, you know. Celebrating 70 years, it's great, you know. And it doesn't mean we'll be celebrating 70 years of her Platinum Jubilee. It makes sense, right? Right. Last page in the book. In war and the peace, in good times and bad, Queen Elizabeth carried on. Fate had made her a queen exactly by working hard. I misspelled the spins in the wrong. But anyway, she won the princess people's respect. Exactly. She always put the crown, the country's above everything. The country's crown have no brighter jewel. I have to agree with the Queen. She have to do something about it. So yeah, just wanted to know about that. So that was the little golden book biography of Queen Elizabeth II. What do I think about this book? I think I was amazed to celebrate 70 years of Queen Elizabeth II's book in my mind. But that's just me, of course. On something like this, but that's just me. That was Bedtime Stories, episode number 167. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be, let's just say, Bedtime Stories, episode number 68. I'm not sure what book I'm going to read next, but we'll see what happens. Now, excuse me, I gotta go to bed, get to work, and things like that. Until next time, Sue Jefferson, bye, piece of paper. We'll get more videos, guys, soon. Till then, just out. See ya.